Hi guys, in this video we are gonna discuss another topic about HTML. This is the lecture 5 of HTML, and till now we have discussed styles, links, CSS, colors, comments, quotations, attributes, elements, etc. In this lecture we are gonna discuss about images. So what's the purpose of adding images? Images basically makes the web page more visually appealing. It helps improve the appearance, it helps add design to our web page, etc. Right now we have already discussed how to add image. Img src is equal to the URL of the image and then an alternative text that will show when the image cannot load due to unavoidable circumstances, right? So this is the syntax, this is the basic syntax where img is the image tag. src is one of the attributes of img tag. Now images are not inserted into a web page exactly, they are linked to web page. Okay, the image tag basically creates a holding space for the reference image. So whenever I'm using this image tag, I can also specify the height and width, or otherwise if I don't specify, then a default space. It is left for the image. Okay, so image tag is empty, it contains attributes only and does not have a closing tag. Sorry, image does not have a closing tag. So the attributes are src and alt. Okay, src will have the URL, alt will have an alternate text. Now src attribute specifies the path to the image, basically where the image is situated. That's why it contains the URL of the image. So when a web page loads, okay, the browser at that very moment when the web page is loading, it gets the image from the web server and inserts it into the page. And then alt, as we have already discussed, it provides an alternate text for the image if because of some reason the viewer cannot view the image. So also when screen reader, there's something known as screen reader in the laptops. If you right click on your page and then click on screen reader option, you will be able to basically hear what the web page is displaying. Instead of seeing it, you can actually listen to it. These are useful for people who are visually impaired. So when you have screen readers, right, they don't read the image, they however read the alt text that we have added to the image. So that's another feature, of alt text. Okay, then we have the width and height attribute. We have already discussed, we can either use width and height directly, or we can use the style attribute and add width and height. Okay, and so on. We can also add height, or we can use width and height directly as separate attributes. Okay, we should always specify the width and height, because if they are not specified, the web page might flicker while the image loads. Okay, now what is better, width, height, or the style attribute? Which one should be used? Okay, let's see. They are all valid, of course. We have seen you can implement this if you want, but soon we are going to implement the code in our lecture videos also, so you can wait. But if you want to practice on your own, you can implement it now also. They both will run perfectly, there won't be any difference in the output. However, style attribute is better. It's suggested, it's recommended, you can use both, they both are perfectly fine. Okay, now we discussed something about absolute and relative URL. Same, if the image is situated within your folder, you can use relative URL. Okay, now animated images, you can add animated images also with .gif extension. Whatever your images and .gif, it will be viewed as an animated image only. So you can do that. You can also use image as a link, which we discussed in the link videos also, where you will write href is equal to the link, the URL of the link, because this is the link tag, this is the href tag, and here we used to write what we want to display. Like, right, for example, this is a link, so when you click on this is a link, they'll take you to this web page. Now instead of this is a link, I want an image to be displayed, so I'll write img src. it will display my image, and since it's within the link tag, it will be shown as a link. So when I click on it, it will take me here. Okay, then next example is the next topic is, what if I want my image to be here and my text to be simultaneously here, or vice versa, my image to be here and my text to be here. For this we have something known as float. Now what is float? Float is basically a style property or CSS property, you can say. So if you can write float is right, or you can write float left. So when you write float left, the image will be to the left, the image will be here and the paragraph will be here. So how to write it exactly? First you will write the image, you will write img src is equal to the link, then alt, then you will get to style. In that you will write float right, then height and width. Okay, so this is how you will write it. Now after this you will start before this you will start the paragraph tag. The image will be the first thing you add in your paragraph. After that you will write all the lines you need in your paragraph, and then you will end the paragraph tag. Okay, so first you will start the paragraph, then you will write img. Similarly, float to the left you can write. After that you will write the lines, and then you can write /p. So we are basically inserting an image in a paragraph. Float left or float right will decide whether the image will be left and the paragraph will be right, or the image will be right and the paragraph will be on the left. We'll implement all this when we'll do the worksheet of lecture 5. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, which is image map. So let's say you have a map, you have an image. This is an image. Okay, in this you have, let's say, a laptop here, you have a phone here, and you have a coffee mug here. I'm sorry for the terrible drawing, but yeah, you get the point. Okay, so this is an image. Now what if I want that when I click on this part of the image, that is the laptop, the computer, when I click on it, I want it to open information, a web page which displays information about computers. Similarly, when I click on this part, that is the phone, I want it to display the information that is about phones. And similarly here, when clicked, I want it to tell me about coffee shops, right? Basically different web pages. So basically I don't want to make the entire image as a link, but I want to make a certain part of the image as a link. Now how can we do that? This is where the map feature comes to use. Okay, now how exactly to define the area? Let's see an example. In this example only, for example, first I'll display this image, right? img src, the URL of this image. In this, now I'm gonna add another attribute known as use map, and then the name of this use map, that is hashtag, and then whatever the name is, and that's it. Okay, then I'm gonna start my map. Here I'll write map name is equal to, then whatever I wrote after hashtag here. For example, let's say I'm writing map only hashtag, let's say hashtag practice map. Okay, so here in the, when I write map name, I have to write practice map. Okay, once I've written this, I'll define the area. How am I gonna do that? First attribute that I'm gonna use to define the area is shape attribute. The shape of laptop, now the closest shape that I can think about is rectangle. So I'll write rect, then the coordinates of that rectangle. We are going to discuss this, so wait. Then coordinates, and then alt is another attribute that you can use, and then href is another attribute that you can use. Now let's look at all these things one by one. Image, img tag. The only difference in this src alt, and then we used use map is equal to hashtag and the name of the map in double quotes, right? So use map value starts with a hashtag always. Use map is an attribute of img tag whose value starts with a hashtag always and contains the name of the map. Okay, now use map value starts with a hashtag. We already discussed this. It is used to create the relationship between this use map feature and the image. Okay, we can use any image as we want, right? Then how to create an image map? We discussed it right now that we use the map element. So map is another element for creating an image map. We need to use an attribute known as map name so that we can link this map to our actual image, right? After that, we are gonna look at the different attributes of the area tag. Area is where we define the clickable area. Area tag is used to define the clickable area. So now let's look at its different attributes. For shape, okay, for shape you can use one of the following. First we have rect, for something that that resembles a rectangle. Then we have circle, poly and default. As the name suggests, rectangle, circular, polygonal and the entire region. Okay, this is for polygonal images and default is for entire region. Okay, now we must also add some coordinates because it's possible that we have similar shapes in more than one areas, right? So for those coordinates is basically let's see in this example only. This laptop, what's the distance from the x-axis and what's the distance from the y-axis? We need both these values. These form the coordinates. For example, if it's located 34 pixels from the left margin and 44 pixels from the top margin. Okay, 34 pixels from left and 44. Then its coordinates will be 34, 44. Okay, similarly, we need to write from the left margin and from the top. So let's say it's 270 from the left margin and then 350 from the top. Okay, this point is located 350 from the top and this point is 270 from the left. So now all the coordinates of this will be 34, 44, then 270 and then 350. Then we discussed about href, which was basically the link where when we click on this laptop, which link it should take me to. So that value will be stored in href. So once I write these coordinates and once I write the shape as rectangle and then href, then this area becomes clickable. Okay, similarly to add a circle area, this coffee cup resembles circle, right? So we can use shape is equal to circle and we have to find the coordinates from the center of the circle. Okay, and after finding the coordinates like this coordinate and this coordinate, we need to also specify the radius and that will be the coordinates for circle. So 337, 300 and 44, where this is from the top, this is from the left and this is from the this is the radius. Okay, then as soon as I create this with this coordinates and shape circle and a link, this area becomes clickable. Now for a polygon can be like basically for a polygon we need to find coordinates at all edges. So let's say I have a shape like this. I need to find here, 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 here. I need to find the coordinates. I need to mention those coordinates, and after that the same process repeats. Okay, then this area will become clickable. Now the clickable area can also trigger a JavaScript function. Okay, if we add onClick is equal to my function, if we write this attribute, we add the onClick attribute. Wait, on function. Okay, if I add this attribute, it will execute a JavaScript function. What type of JavaScript function, what exactly I have written here, we'll all discuss this in detail in HTML JavaScript also and in JavaScript separately. Okay, so that's it. Now another small topic that is left, before that we need to also learn how can we add background images. Now if I want, I can make sure that my entire web page, instead of being white or any other color, it can be a specific type of image. Okay, so how can we do that? Now to add a background image, we'll use the style attribute. So let's say I want to add a background image not in the whole web page but behind, like in the background of a certain paragraph. Okay, only in this paragraph. Then I'll use the style tag or whatever type of CSS you prefer. Then P, then background image. Background image is the attribute that we use for this, and then it's URL. After that, hashtag style. Similarly, I can write it here also in P, style is equal to background image, and then the URL. Here, I'll write it here properly, URL. In brackets, I'm gonna write the URL and then semicolon. So this is how I can add background image to a specific paragraph. To add background image on a page, I can, instead of P, I can use it for body tag. So body tag, what does body tag contains? All the visible contents of the page. That means the entire web page, this all comes under body tag. So it will display as the background image. Okay, now what if the background, if let's say this is my web page, okay, but my background image is only this big, what to do then? In this case, I can create a image basically that will repeat itself. So this image will be without the gaps, there would be no gaps, but this image will keep on repeating and the entire web page, and then my entire web page will be full with repeating images of the same sort, right? So for this also, I can write use basically and a property known as background repeat. Now if I have a small image and I write background image and then URL, it's gonna repeat itself. The image will repeat itself. If the default size of the image is this and I set it as the background image, this will happen automatically. But what if I don't want this to happen? What if I want the background image should be one only? I don't want the repeating image to happen, right? At that point I use background repeat, and its value I'll set to no repeat. So once I set the value to no repeat, it's not going to repeat on its own. Okay, so after adding the background image in the style attribute only, I can set the value as background repeat as no repeat. Okay, then there's another thing known as background cover, which means if you want the background image to cover the entire element, we can set the background size. We are going to discuss this in way more detail in CSS, but for now let's understand right now in simple only. It's simple only. So background size is cover. As soon as I set this, it will automatically fix the image to make sure that the entire element is covered. Okay, now if I set the background attachment, there's another property known as background attachment. Okay, if I set it to fixed, that means the web page itself won't crop anything or won't make any changes to the dimension, to the elements of the web page. There won't be any stretching. The image will keep its original proportions, but it will cover the entire element. They may make the image larger. Okay, so this is all about background images. We'll learn a lot more in CSS in huge detail. Okay, now one more element that is important in the images topic is picture element. We need not study that in a lot of detail right now, but picture element, we should know what it does. It basically, now if I'm viewing my web page on a laptop, so I have this much area, so the image should cover this much. If I'm viewing it on my phone, I have this area, so the image should cover this, right? Similarly, iPad, the image should cover this area. Okay, so this is made sure by the picture element. The picture element basically gives us flexibility in specifying the image resources. It's not that important right now, but you should know it. You can check it out if you want to make a web page and display it on laptop, phone, etc. We'll discuss it once we are done with HTML and CSS, and once we have created our own document, we are going to discuss this in detail, how to actually make it appearable on all three of my devices. Okay, so another topic that we are going to study for in today's lecture is a favicon. This basically means that you might have seen certain websites where in the title, like this is the web page, above appears the title, right, where your tab comes or something like that. In Google Chrome also, if you open, at the top will appear all your titles, right? Now with favicon, you can make sure that you have a logo if you want, or any other small image will be displayed here along with your title. So how to do this? So to basically add this to your website, what you're going to do is, let's see the syntax for this. In the head element, head tag, we write title, right? So first I'm going to write title. Let's say my page, and then slash title. After that, in the very next line, I'm going to write link rel is equal to icon, type is equal to, and then href is equal to. Okay, after that I'll write slash head, and then and then body tag can start. Now let's discuss this. What this link is an attribute which is basically defining the relationship between a document and an external source. Okay, this you have to write this in type. What you can write is basically image and then slash icon. You are basically specifying that the image is your icon, and then in href you have to give the logo of the image. Okay, so this is how you can do this. Now let's move on to the last topic for this lecture, that is the page title. We have already discussed almost everything that is to discuss about this. So the title should describe the content and meaning of the page. Okay, content plus meaning should be described by the title. The page title is very important for SEO. The syntax we have already discussed so many times. In the head, we are gonna write title and then the title name and then slash title. Okay, so this is very important for SEO because the text is used by SEO to decide the order when listing the pages. Okay, so this is very important. Now title elements, what does it does? It defines the title, of course, it provides a title, of course, and display the title for SEO. So we should try to make it as accurate and as meaningful as possible. So that's it for this lecture. I'll upload the worksheet for this lecture very soon. Stay tuned, and the revision video is also going to come within this day only. I'll try to upload it today only. So stay tuned and do the worksheet before the next lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about tables. It is an important topic of HTML, how to create tables in our web page, the table border, the padding. We are going to discuss a lot of things. After that, we are going to discuss lists. Then we'll be pretty much done with the basic HTML. So then we'll go into more depth, and then finally we are going to finish HTML. I think it will take a few more lectures, around 4-5 more lectures. After that, it should be complete. So see you next time. Thank you.